Hey everybody, Trickster here, and we are playing Pairs. And as always, I have no idea what this game's about, and it is also a free game on Steam. So, let's just check it out. Let's see, let's do start. Space, the final frontier. For them, that is. Alone in the galaxy with no other life forms or for light years, planet Earth was once a sitting duck, waiting to be conquered. Perhaps in another world it would have been, if it hadn't been for them. Who is them? The Naturals, humans with abilities beyond the imagination, appearing just in time to save the world. First time the Earth clashed against the Nazians was devastating, but through the blood, sweat, and tears of the Naturals, that first battle was won. Humanity's appetite wet weak. They began to prepare for all-out war against Earth's invaders. Just 3 generations have passed since the first mighty clash, but the legacy of those mighty first-generation Naturals and their war against the nations lives on. In the city of Q is where it all began, the creation of the World Protectors Program. Around the clock, it prepares for the next generation of Naturals, eagerly waiting for their chance to go head-to-head with the universe's greatest threat. Ectoplanetary Director King Koas and all those scores of heroes, not one of them would ever dream that the successor of the greatest threat is down on Rosemary Boulevard, in a pastry shop. She kicks open the door with impunity, a defiant sneer on her face. That is a very colorful... I don't want to call it a top, but it's more like a swimsuit almost. Kitten Pink. Nobody move or I'll turn your skin inside out, okay? Kitten Pink, daughter of King Chaos, terror of the universe, and heir to the throne. A slender baton bounces lightly against her thigh as she strolls to the pastry counter. Her fingers drum against the weapon, almost impatiently daring someone to challenge her. She's there for one reason, and one reason only. Except you, cutie. You can come with me. I'll even let you keep your skin on. James Zhang. The cutie looks up from his magazine. He looks unperturbed, almost too accustomed to her villainous entrance. And he ignores her. I feel like we talked about this. About what? You know, making empty threats when you're coming to see me at work. Empty? To be quite honest, she doesn't know what an empty threat is. And she says she's gonna take all of the black diamonds in the world because she feels like it. Then she does. And she tells her father that she wants the less pink Ito from the citizens of every town that starts with the letter F. Then he'll have a gift wrapped box waiting for her in her ship within the week. And if she threatens to turn a man's inside out, James understands what she means. It's one of the reasons she likes him after all. Well, empty or not, I told you before that one of these days you're going to get me fired. You should be more careful when you come to Earth. It's just your luck that no one else in the shop... There is no one else in this shop anyway. Kitten slips her baton out of the belt loop, twirling it absent-mindedly. More like just there. She trails off, glancing down distractedly at the dessert counter. Tiger cupcake. It has such a glorious coloring. Of course, I do appreciate its natural form, but I just love how... The young man at the counter tries his best not to laugh at her reaction. Pink it is. I made these cupcakes this morning. Do you want one? Will it turn me into one of those creations if I eat it? Not even slightly. Her shoulders droop. The only thing that rivals her love for the wails of her defeated enemies is a total adoration for all things pink, and more recently, Earth's cats, large and small. But even her cute exterior can't hide the bloodthirsty interior of an Asian warrior. She looks back up at him, refusing to be distracted. Then I decline. You should improve your Earth science. Right. I just came to confirm that we're still on for tonight. You promised, you know. James pauses. Yes, yeah, I did. I'll see you when we're closed. She considers hugging him, and then and there, but she might accidentally stab him, and she doesn't really want that. She settles with cheering, her fists clenched in exhilaration. Alright. Instead of his usual look of surprise when she expresses any kind of joy, he smiles slightly, seeming amused. She hums slightly as she looks at the rest of the strange Earth sweets. Maybe for the first time, there is someone on Earth who she would mind if her father obliterated. Someone whose heart she determined to capture, even if it means she has to rip it from his body forcefully. If someone asked James Zhang what he thought he'd be doing with his life by age 25, he would have guessed chemistry major. Hey, I'm 25 too. Or maybe he would have mumbled something about interning at his dad's law firm because once upon a time his dad wanted him to be a lawyer just that badly. It's even possible that he'd have started shopping for his first apartment, arguing over potential furniture with his mom. He definitely went on and said, "Oh, 25, I'll be working at a pastry shop, living paycheck to paycheck while raising my little sister." And that's just precisely where he is and precisely what he is doing. In reality, he doesn't mind it half as much as he thought he would. He misses his parents, true, but most of the time he's so busy taking care of Mei that he doesn't even have the time to think about them nearly as much as he used to. His phone buzzes with a text. Mei? Hey James, can I go over to Mina's house? Unfortunately today isn't one of those times. He wishes that he could somehow summon his parents from their graves and ask them for help. He wishes they would make the adult decisions for him. What if his sister got hurt? What if she got caught up in some crazy battle and couldn't find cover? What if she didn't make it back? James sighs as he stares at the text. Yeah, it's fine. Text on arrival? He deletes the words and starts over. Go ahead, make sure Mina's parents call me to confirm you got there safe. Shit, too serious. Oh, still. He has a joke, then presses send. If you need a hot guy to make it interesting, let me know. I'll be right over. Better. Her response is an instant thumbs up emoji. It's so casual that his anxious thoughts seemed almost comical in comparison. His phone buzzes with a follow-up message from Mei. I don't know about needing hot guys, but if we need hot air, I'll let you know. You seem to be full of that after all. James grins. Puberty makes Mei so snarky when she wants to be. He lets out a light sigh, slipping his phone back into his pocket. This is really not the life he imagined for himself. And now, top it all off, somehow he's managed to get himself tangled with someone whose father has the power to destroy the whole universe, and then glue it back together atom by atom. Which is precisely why he agreed to date her. He's doing his best, but Mei needs real parents, their parents. And if dating an alien princess who just might vaporize him if he catches her on a bad day is the way to do it, he's willing to take his chances. To say he hates her is a stretch, but lately, he feels like it's been a little more than that. Like he doesn't really mind her either. And she certainly is a whirlwind, even when she's threatening his livelihood. What would his parents think of her? Because that would have gone over well. Mom, Dad, this is my girlfriend. She may or may not collapse buildings as a hobby, but she's a nice girl most of the time. Her moral compass is just a bit... He imagines them all at dinner. Ken bringing with her a basket of alien flowers like the ones she brought on the first date. Some kind of species from her homeworld that melted with beautiful colors into fresh water, but exploded when too warm. A fitting metaphor for her, he thought at the time, and not too surprising that she and the flowers share the same name. Noya. The voice of his coworker breaks his thoughts. Hey, what are you smiling about? Holy crap, she's pale. I'm smiling? He shakes his head. What is he thinking? This, whatever it was, is definitely temporary, just until he can get his parents back. No matter how cute he finds her at times. Carmelita rests on her hands and knees, breathing hard into the ground. Do you want to spar again, Dragon? Dragon. A word that evokes fear and wonder. Mystique and mystery. Shining scales and pearly claws. A ravishing hunger for gold. Sometimes intelligence. Sometimes mere reptilian beast. It's not her real name, but everyone got a tag when they joined. The moment Carmelita was assigned to Team K, she became Dragon. It's a name that reminds her to be strong and make her think of home, of proud parents who loved her and fought against their desire to keep her home and safe from harm. She looks up and finds the strength to stand. Her body tells her not to, creaking and cracking with bruises yet unborn. But even her exhaustion can't take away from the burning in her chest, which yearns to fight again and again, even if she knows she will lose. Hand-to-hand combat has never been her strong suit. Not only are her powers still developing, but they are hardly made for going on the offensive. What pushes her is the knowledge that she can't stay a trainee forever. Being accepted for hero training is a wonder in itself, but actually making it to the debut is a special kind of miracle, one that she's determined to believe in. She stands up to the battered knees and prepares to fight. Let's take it from the top. Are you sure? You seem a little tired. Why don't we fight doubles instead? It's the best thing her teammate could possibly said. Camiletta's eyes wander to the sidelines where other members of her team are watching. Her eyes meet the ones she's looking for. Dibs on. Glamour, we know. He flashes him an excited smile. Ricardo Fernandez. Tag Glamour. He winks at her, an illusion of glitter appearing the moment his eyes closes. No flirting! Flirting? Rather than flirting, it's more like... That's how it usually is, isn't it? Charming. She looks like Glamour, expecting him to look at her as surprised as she feels, but instead, he eyes her with a lingering glance, his lips parting into a lazy half-smile. Monitoring the match, the team counselor lets them know that the match is about to start. Positions, please. Camiletta marches to the start zone, but can't help glancing at Glamour again. You were flirting with me? His eyes slide over to hers and makes eye contact. There wasn't anyone else I had in mind, no. But he eyes her coolly, and she isn't sure whether or not the glow she sees around his face is an illusion. If you had to ask, I'll have to try harder. Camilla stares at him and wondering what to say. Lately, it seems like she never knows what to say, especially when he starts acting like that. He looks away, taking his position. Before she has time to form a response, the match starts with a blow of the whistle. Oh. There's nothing as calm as his black box. To spin illusions is hard work. It takes a special form of concentration to take a person, wrap them in colored strings that only he could see, and transform them into someone else, concealing their true form from the outside world. He has to believe a lie so that it becomes the truth. It must believe a lie enough that it becomes the truth, and the stronger the true image of a person is to him, the harder it is to keep up their glamour. Secretly inside, he struggles every time he changes dragon, hides her gleaming scales, and slips her into human skin born of his imagination. Except for one thing, her eyes. He never touches her eyes. Some say they are unsettling, but he has always admired them, even when he was a child. As an illusionist, it has always been easy to see through his own illusions, so when he thinks about the glamour he spins for Dragon, he can't help but feel a strange sense of pride. Somehow knowing that he is the one of the few who gets to see her true faces. A cherished secret, at least to him. He thinks of the time when they first met. Honestly, he barely remembers it. He can only imagine holding his mother's hand, hiding behind her when Dragon rushed up and squeezed him into a hug. So you're my new best friend, she said, not even a hint of shyness in her actions. She has never been the fearful one. It's always been him. Even now, he insists she stay glamoured when not with their team. What would happen if someone mistook her for one of them? The Nazians are notoriously bloodthirsty enough that many younger, inexperienced trainees have been an act first, question later policy. And Dragon's powers aren't strong enough to protect her. Not yet. Carmeletta. Her voice is comforting. He opens his eyes and his illusion of the void disappears. In this dorm room, she sits quietly on his bed reading. Unglamoured, so beautiful, and no one else could see it. He promised her parents that he would make sure that no one ever troubled Carmeletta over her appearance, but sometimes he wonders if it's too much of a burden. He remembers the way her parents looked whenever the doorbell rang, the way she wasn't allowed past the high brick walls of her family's property as a child. He could never do that to her. Instead, he could only be thankful that his powers manifested when they did, because illusions were the key to her freedom from their protection. He would never tell her that, though. I was thinking, we should go see your parents this weekend. Carmelita sits up wide-eyed. Moments like these make him feel closer to her, mainly because the moment their eyes meet, he knows exactly what she's thinking, and that it matches his thoughts too. You want to tell him about us? He answers an unspoken question. I think we should. She's quiet as she flops down on the bed and stares at the ceiling. She puts the book on her face, and it's not hard for him to imagine her grinning behind it. I'll go file some requests for leave then. She still loves them, her parents, but that's okay with him. Even if she knew, he wouldn't always be sure that she could be free, even if it killed him. In a world superpowered natural alien Nasians and unpowered neutrals, here they are, 4 stories. Whose face will you choose? Ricardo, James, Dragon, Ken Pink. Let's be James. James, you keep turning off your alarm. Just get up already. My sister's voice cutting through my bizarre dreams. I sit up with a start. It's 7 a.m. Counting on my fingers, I do some quick calculations. Drop me off at school by 7:15, be at the shop by 7:30, get to work in time to finish the raspberry lemon torte garnish, layer the sea salt caramel banana pudding, and the thumbprints at... I trail off, giving up. I was supposed to be at work an hour ago, and I'm just waking up now. So there's no way I'll be on time. I'll run out of fingers before I run out of tasks to take on the overgrowing list of things I need to do today. I try not to sigh. At least I can guarantee that May won't be late for school. Not today, anyway. Pushing myself back from my chair, I hear something land on the ground. It's May's jacket, tumbling from its previous position around my shoulders. I scoop it up and toss it onto the bed. I have to stop falling asleep here. After the fastest shower of my life, I brush my teeth and get dressed, tossing my things in my bag and grabbing my phone. I hear a text notification the moment it touches my palm. I'm in the car, your lunch is in the kitchen on the table. Thanks, May. Throwing my jacket on, I rush out the door. The shop is still dark when I walk in. The display case is empty. Hannah, my coworker, looks up the moment I walk in, then gets back to her work. You know, for someone who's somehow managed to convince my mom that they'll be okay watching the shop alone for the next 2 months, you're doing a pretty terrible job. She tosses my apron at me, leaning squarely on my face. You're late. Yep. Hannah grimaces, but she doesn't take the time to spare me the angry glare I probably deserve. She's too busy with scooping and pressing out a batch of thumbprint cookies. How many do we need? 9 dozen. We got a huge last-minute delivery order for Solomon Kumala. I would have loved to have another assistant baker here for, I don't know, assisting, but somehow I opened the shop to discover that I was all alone. Again. I wash my hands, strapped on my apron. No point in making up excuses now. Let me guess, taking May to school? Yep. You should seriously consider getting her a car. Sounds like you want to pay for it. How much are you getting paid again? Not enough for the amount to cover... Not for the amount I cover when you're late. Touché. She glances my way, and sure enough, there's a glare that she was holding back earlier. I don't get it. I mean, I know your sister. Pass me the peach marmalade, please. Keeps you busy, but I'm more concerned with your little disappearing acts. Disappearing acts? Yes, disappearing acts. I don't know what's going on in that head of yours, but it is absolutely unacceptable to go on a lunch break and not come back. I told you. I know what you told me, but... I load two trays of cookies and shut the oven, wiping my hands on the apron. I'm not going to be mad, but I'd like to know what's going on with you. Even when you're running late, you don't call, you don't answer your phone, you're always tired, you show up later than usual. May has always been your sister, so I'm used to things coming up, but this is on a whole new level. It's not like you at all. So I've been thinking, are you dating someone? Why do you think I'm dating someone? Why do you think I'm... You got all the signs. Such as? You zone out at work, and you leave as soon as your shift ends. I cross my arms calmly. So you're saying that any person who zones out and leaves work on time is secretly dating someone? Well, no, but maybe I'm zoning out because my sister is in her first years of high school, and she's been weirdly secretive lately. It's her second year, James. I think you had enough time to get used to it. So I'm not allowed to feel concerned? Come on. Have some sense of familial affection. Okay, fine. Let's pretend I actually buy the garbage you're dishing out. Still. And maybe I leave after work because I have other things to do. Since when have you have other things to do? Is having a hobby a crime now? Her expression unsure, she uncrosses her arms as she watches me scoop out a lump of cookie dough. Pass me the rolling pin? Okay, fine. It's not a crime. I still feel like something's off. I mean, you seem exhausted. We don't even get to hang out like we used to. You're always broke when I try to invite you out. I've always been broke. More than usual. I didn't know you paid attention so closely. I wonder what other kinds of attention you've been paying to me. Implying that I suspect she likes me is a low blow, even for me. But in this case, a necessary one. Hana falls silent, unsure if she wants to continue. After a long, uncomfortable moment, she sighs, deciding against pressing the matter further. Success! Okay, I get it. Maybe it's not a secret, girlfriend. But one thing I do know is that you're definitely hiding something. Nice to know that you're just going to think what you want anyway. Thanks for the permission. Don't you mean... persimmons? Persimmons? Oh no, the apple and the persimmon tarte tartan. Grabbing the oven mitts, she turns towards the oven. I finish putting the last of the desserts to the display case as Hana flips the open sign. I can't believe I won't see this place for the next 2 months. Well, that's what you get for deciding to be all fancy and go away on an island vacation. I don't think a mandatory family vacation is all that fancy. Dad and my are going to disappear anyways, so it'll just be me, Moira, and the triplets, all annoying me at the same time. Hana smiles and frowns, shooting me a glare. Please tell me that there'll still be a shop when I come back. I stand straighter than saluting her. Scout's honor. Sarcasm isn't honorable. Is that so? James! Yeah, I get it. Less sarcasm, more honorableness. She hands me the key. Okay, don't forget where the spare is. And heads up, Mom told me she'll be calling in to check on you every once in a while. She's still in Paris during her training, and I'd like to keep it that way. If anything, and I mean anything happens to this shop short of a Nazian attack kicking down the door and setting everything on fire, I'll have your skin. Somehow, I meant to keep a straight face. Listen, Hana, the shop isn't going to burn down just because you leave for a little while. Hana is annoying, but I get her concern. Since Noya came into my life, the shop has gone through some bizarre instances, all of which I've had to painstakingly cover to the best of my ability. The boss is fooled, mainly because she's not here as often, but Hana is less easily persuaded. All I'm saying is that if anything you do while watching this shop prevents me from inheriting it, Hana, you're way too invested in this job. I mean, really, even coming to work on the day you're supposed to leave for your family vacation is a sign that you need to relax. And isn't that just what vacations are for? Relax? With you watching the shop? She snorts. Unlikely. Giving the shop one last lingering look, Hana sighs at the sound of text notification on her phone. Thanks for this, though. I guess it's better than closing down while me and my mom are gone. Sort of. I've gotta go. My ride's here. I pat her on the back, waving as the passenger van pulls up. When it disappears out of sight, I let out a deep breath. Finally, I can relax. Checking my watch, I shuffle away from the doorway and go back into the shop. With Hana gone, I don't have to be so careful, especially since Ken isn't the most subtle person in the world. I check the clock. T-minus 6 hours till the arrival of the princess. Working in a pastry shop, there are 2 kinds of days. The kind where you sit there suffering through the monotony and... What the... I hear a fire engine beginning to wail somewhere in the distance. And then there are days like this. During the shop's TV, I take out the lunch May made for me and pull up the stool behind the counter. Quinn, or QNN. This is Marvelous Jones with QNN, reporting on a breaking news story. A flower chuck is the most recent victim of a bizarre alien attack. This is the 9th such attack in recent memory, all of which have occurred in residential areas across the city. We want to get you straight on the action. Here is QNN reporter Anna Ozels, live at the scene. Thank you, Marvelous. We're here in the corner of 12th and Pearl Street. As you can see, this chuck has been completely split open, and flower petals are scattered everywhere. Oh no, not again. I could have sworn she said she understood when I asked her not to do this anymore, but I turned the volume up. Apparently not. We have 3 eyewitnesses who claim that the light came from the sky and blasted something or someone straight through the roof of the truck. In fact, here's the driver now. Mr. Sally, can you give your account of what happened? I have a feeling that I know exactly what Mr. Sally is going to say. There was this woman, not our kind of woman, mind you, one of them Nazians. Had this skin teal-like and the devil's own grin. She sees a bunch of my finest orchids and then blasted right out here at the side of my truck. The camera zooms in on the truck, which has been cracked in half like a peanut shell. Jeez, kitten. My stomach twisted and I look at the screen in disbelief. I mutter under my breath. I can't believe you did this again. What part of don't attract attention don't you understand? Does the word low-key mean anything to you? I've asked her to be careful too many times to count, but I think of the truck, the way it was split open on its side and completely smashed against the side of a building. No point in being surprised, I guess. And it's not like the nations are known for subtlety. But this kind of thing is really dangerous. At best, it will attract unwanted attention, and at worst, well, if the World Protection Program came down a little too hard on her, then where would my plans be? I pinched my nose in mild frustration, then that let out a resigned sigh. At least she didn't hurt the truck driver. This time, anyway. Oh, here's the news. The World Protection Program has been called. The Brass Knuckles, the most recent debuted WPP squad, have been deployed. We can see them now. Allure, the Mix, Jingle, Howler, Mercury. The side of the heroes flitting across the screen in pursuit, I groan. Oh, you've done it now. My phone buzzes. It's May. James, did you see the emergency broadcast? My stomach twists as I look at the message in disbelief. May? Oh, no, you don't? If I find out you skipped school around here to go hero training, I'm going to grind you into little pieces and then grind those little pieces. They'll have no privileges for a week. It doesn't take long to get a reply. Morbid much? But fine, I get it. Jeez. Oh, speaking of the special broadcast, just to let you know, I'm going to be really busy for the next couple hours, so only text me if it's an emergency, okay? If Gen really is on her way here, then we'll need privacy. The last thing I need is for May to find out about her. I checked the clock. It's 2 in the afternoon. Even though we don't usually get customers around this time anyway, I flipped the sign so that it reads closed. The intersection of 12th and Pearl isn't that far away, so I'm pretty sure she'll arrive any minute. James! She busts through the door like a whirlwind, and as always, my name is the first thing through her lips. I stiffened immediately before turning to let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. Kitten. So she's alone. My worries that a group of professional heroes is going to bust through the door settles just a little. One less thing for Hannah to worry about. She doesn't seem injured either, which is as good as it gets with Kitten Pink. I'll lock us in the shop and glance through the blinds. It's the same routine every time she comes to visit me. Starting, of course, with our long-standing tradition, watching her almost get herself killed on the news when she goes out to get me a gift, insisting that it's a superior Naian tradition. Noya, I've told you before. I know, gifts aren't necessary. She brushes me off. I narrowly resist falling through in the urge to rip out my hair. I mean, I get it. It's tradition. She wants to show her affection as only a Naian can, but I want her to at least try not to get herself killed. Maybe even to learn to think things through for once in her life. You can't even imagine how stupid it is to risk your life for flowers I could buy for myself. I almost say it, but when I see the way she pouts at me, I know there's no point. Besides, one of us has to be the adult here. We both fall silent as I wipe down the cappuccino machine. When I glance over my shoulder at Kitten, she's staring at the clock on the wall, her eyes trailing the pendulum. The way her eyes swing back and forth reminds me of a cat, waiting for a bird to come out from a cuckoo clock. Watching them swirl back and forth is hypnotic. I turn away blinking. Why am I so close, looking so closely anyway? I go back to concentrating on cleaning the machine, Ken's voice coming out from behind me. James, your little communicator device is bright. I think someone is trying to contact you. Communicator? I try my best not to laugh. I told her before it's called a smartphone, but she insists that it's her translator makes the words, not her. It's part of that thing that she wears on her wrist. Some kind of robot assistant thing. What does she call it? I pick up my phone and check the caller ID. May? I've already told May not to call me. My thumb covers ignored. But if I answer it, I'll get a few minutes away from Kitten. That's the kitten holding my phone close to my chest. It's my sister. I'll be right back. I have to take this. I rush to the back room and answer it. Jax? Murdery, you're stab him, we slap him. What you need? Seriously, James? Hey, you're the one who called me when I told you I'd be busy. When'd you say that? I take a moment to pull my phone away from my face and stare at it in disbelief. May, did you even read my text? You sent a text? Yes, a text that said I'm very busy, not to contact me unless it's an emergency. But James, this is an emergency. Listen, so after school, Team E is doing outside training exercises. You know who is going to be there. Team E? I try to remember which ones they are. That's the hero training group you like, right? The one with the guy that in it? Protector? I can hear unintelligible gushing in the background. Of course, me, Marcus, Trina wanted to go. From the front door, I can hear what sounds like a legs of a chair scraping loudly against the floor. Ken's probably leaning back in her chair. What was that? Is a customer there? Might be a customer coming in. I'll check in a second. The lie drips from my tongue like honey. If there's anyone who should not look about Kitten, it's May. Or, not no. I have to make sure that no one knows our little escapades. It's not like dating enemies of war is smiled upon by the World Protection Program. If the WPP got wind of this, I'll wait for a reaction, hoping May buys it. Distracted by her friends in the background, May goes on. Whatever, anyway, can we get a ride to the training ground? You have legs and public transit, just take the bus. Fine. I'll see you no later than 10 tonight. If you need a ride then, I'll come and get you. But if you want to eat dinner with me, then you gotta be back by 8. Thanks, bro. I'll text you if I'll be back for dinner. She hangs up, no doubt triumphantly, content with having procured at least one ride. Alright, I'm gonna save there, and this is a pretty interesting story. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!